debit and credit card transactions are going to be shut down for even a week. Most people don't have $5 on them; they use their debit card. So I would recommend everybody to go to the bank as soon as possible and withdraw, 10s and 20s and stash it away. And also, too, maybe you talked about this. Did you see I think it was last Sunday night, CNN ran an entire hour-long show, maybe even longer.
Yeah, the cybersecurity attack. We actually played portions of it because they had actually aired it on Saturday, and they re-aired it on Sunday again and again and again. And talking heads like Chertoff, and I can't remember the other two guys that I recognized in there.
Negroponte secretary was there.
Negroponte was there.
The former head of the CIA was there.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so fascinating about that, I mean, we're covering some stuff again, but what I thought about that is not only was this a phony broadcast and they were fear-mongering, trying to scare everybody into accepting Obama's Cybersecurity Act, but look at the honesty, the phony honesty in their look, because they were just coming up with this stuff off the top of their head like they were in a high school drama class, and you wouldn't be able to tell whether they were being serious or not. These guys were such great actors and actresses that you could see the fear in their eyes. You could hear the emotions in them, as if this was actually happening. They were such good liars and actors that you couldn't even tell.
And let me make the point that they pre-positioned themselves to have the National Guard on the streets of America because of this cybersecurity attack, and they would not, let me repeat, would not be under orders from the governor. And the guy literally says, too bad if they don't like it, they're under our control. Federalizing the National Guard in the case of a cybersecurity attack. They come out and openly state, we will have martial law, there will be no states' rights, we are your overlords, Mark.
It was shocking. I can't believe that it wasn't bigger news. I meant to do an analysis on it, but I've just been too busy. But again, I just want to reiterate, people should go maybe search the YouTube clips and watch the CNN simulated cybersecurity emergency. And they had, these people were such good liars. They were able to convey such authentic emotion. And so that just goes to show what do they do on a daily basis when they're lying to us about a real threat that's out there. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell that they were just playing make-believe because they seemed completely serious. That's how good of actors these people are.
Well, these people have to lie multiple times on a daily basis, almost to the point where you wonder how much of the truth they actually tell on any given Sunday, how honest they can even be with their families. They're so geared towards lying. They're so geared towards lying. How much honesty could actually spill out of their mouths? Let's take a couple calls. 888-201-2244. We have Mark Dice on the line. What's the latest book, Mark? New World Order, Fact and Fiction, correct? We got that at InfoWars.
Yep, you can get it. It's a lot of current events and current issues. So the previous book, The Illuminati Facts and Fiction, takes a look at all the stuff about the Illuminati secret society, a lot of the history, a lot of the evidence. I go back to the original evidence and original writings from 230 years ago, all the way up to today. Separate a bunch of the garbage from some of the exaggerated claims and some people that claim to have been in the Illuminati. So the new one focuses more on the New World Order, the New World Order Facts and Fiction, and so it's a lot of modern issues that are going on and kind of separate some of the facts from the fiction, and is a great kind of companion for the Illuminati Facts and Fiction.
Excellent. Hopefully it'll be a great companion for my upcoming film, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, where we interview Mark Dice, G. Edward Griffin, and Peter Dale Scott as the main proponents in this picture. Can't wait for its release, April 15th. Let's go to Raymond in California. Raymond, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Yes. How are you doing today?
Good.
I was just hearing earlier about your project, including one about MKUltra.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you still believe they use MKUltra in certain camps out there where they hold prisoners of war, such as
Wait, Raymond, are you asking me if I still believe that the government engages in psychological warfare tactics against the people and mind control?
Well, Yes, because I want to know more about the MK Ultra. I've been researching a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
all right, well, let me tell you what we know about MK Ultra itself. MK Ultra, portions of it were declassified during the church hearings, and a lot of them were destroyed. Now, as far as the Mind Control Ultra program continuing to this day, of course it continues to this day. However, it's under a separate name. MK Ultra wasn't the only project even back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. They had Artichoke and many others. We'll come back on the other side, discuss that and much, much more with Mark Dice. I believe it's markdice.com.
If you believe in redemption, I'm calling to you from another dimension.
We are back. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. We are joined by Mark Dice of markdice.com. He is an author and activist. Recently sent Glenn Beck his garbage. You can check that out on YouTube. And much more of what Mark has done. We're taking your calls as well. But I want to do a little bit of a news blitz here. Time Magazine, the autism debate, who's afraid of Jenny McCarthy? And, of course, Jenny McCarthy and her boyfriend, Jim Carrey, have come out against the vaccinations, exposing to a lot of housewives and soccer moms out there that, yes, they do put mercury in the thimerosal and other horrible adjuncts. And, of course, Time Magazine, if you listened to the show last week, was propagating that, oh, autism was never caused by the mercury in the vaccinations. It's all lies and disinformation. But Jenny McCarthy continues to get the word out. And because she's a celebrity, they have to cover her. That's why we need to reach these celebrities in film, in movies, in radio. Musicians can reach millions upon millions. I've got a very small audience compared to Willie Nelson, folks. That's why it's great when we reach out to these celebrities and they then, in turn, reach out to millions more. Gun fans cheer Starbucks' stance on the arm. Basically, Starbucks is standing up for your right to be armed. There are plenty of states out there that have open carry laws, and some businesses say, no, you can't carry that in here. Not Starbucks, so we're giving them kudos for standing up for gun rights. Marines, Afghan troops to stay in Marja. Now, this is where they just had this huge NATO offensive. This is where they ran the propaganda that there's still some kind of a Taliban, Al-Qaeda threat in Afghanistan. This is where they are setting you up to be ready to stay in the Middle East long after the Obama administration. And I'd like to talk about that with you, Mark, quickly. Openly, they state we'll have soldiers in Iraq until the end of 2011. And in December of 2011, supposedly, we will begin our drawdown and only have 50,000, quote-unquote, non-combat troops. But from what I'm seeing by their actions, by these articles, we ain't leaving the Middle East anytime soon, are we, Mark?
No, and I think this is a good opportunity because, as you see, everybody is realizing, the mainstream is realizing that Obama is not all that he had promised, that he's backtracking, that his most adamant supporters and admirers are now getting frustrated with him. So I think it's a good time to still spread the Obama deception of the Republic around it, and to realize now that we've had two of the biggest puppets on the right and on the left that would do the bidding, of really the Illuminati as much as they could. I mean, you can't get much deeper and closer to the core of the Illuminati than Bush. And then the same true with Obama, attending the Bilderberg Group meetings, doing everything that he can to just completely bankrupt the country. And so it's a good time now for us to show that both, yes, the Republicans and the Democrats, they're both a bunch of scum. They are both just mouthpieces for this secret establishment, or for the invisible empire. And I'm gonna call you back. I'm in the middle of something here. You carry it on. I'll call you back when I get
You got it. Let's hit up some more news, and then we're going to take some of your callers. We've got Gene, JJ, Randy, Fidel, Marcus, and many others on the line. CERN nuclear team restarts Large Hadron Collider. Operators hope world's biggest atom smasher will reveal some secrets of the universe. And we've been covering this here on the InfoWarrior since the inception of the show. We don't think that it is all right that a few people have decided that they are going to try to slam these particles together and create life. Essentially, they're trying to recreate what they believe is the Big Bang. However, critics have said there's a possibility that this could open up a black hole and eventually destroy the planet. I hope those critics are incorrect. Murdoch's hunger for power is a looming threat to democracy. News International's dismissal of a parliamentary report on the news of the world phone scandal just shows their contempt for the law. Folks, Murdoch doesn't care about democracy. He's part of the elite's plutonomy. There's nothing new there. He was part of it under the Bush administration. He's part of it under the Obama administration. He funded both. He's not a good guy. He openly gets up in front of Davos and says that we tried to get people behind the war in Iraq and failed miserably.